Hey everybody, welcome to JK Next Garage. So today we are going to get this floor pan and frame rails fit up underneath the car. Make sure everything's going to work out okay. See if there's any tweaking we need to do. Make sure those spring pockets are going to work out. All right. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, trunk floor is mocked up inside the car. All right, so underneath the car here, and as you can see right around in this area here, the frame rail isn't pulled up just quite tight enough, but I just wanted to make sure that things were going to be fitting in here before I put it back on the body cart and before I took it out and welded it. So a couple things I did here was I actually put the old spring pockets in just to get them lined up. Obviously the one over there, it still needs to come forward a little bit so the front hole doesn't line up. It just needs to come forward. The one over here, this one, my that spring pocket there, that my monoleaf spring was broken and I could not get that nut off of there. So anyways, that's why it's still all kind of together. But as you can see, my nuts, or bolts I should say, are all up in there. Now I tried the new one right here and I was fighting this sucker like nobody's business. I'll take the old one out and I'll show you exactly why this one wasn't working so good. But anyway, everything's looking pretty good. It just needs to suck up a little bit farther to the front. Even though I did get that bolt in there, it still needs to slide forward a little bit. And that's what these ratchet straps are for right here. So as you can see, I got those in there up to the drain hole on both sides. Obviously this one's not even doing anything really right now because I sucked it up pretty good. So let me bring you around to this side here. This one's still a little tight here, right here, but I don't have it sucked up all the way. But anyways, like I said, this was just for fitment. I wanted to make sure everything was good to go. I'll pull this trunk floor back out of here and start welding it all up once we get it back on the body cart. As you can see, I got my jack. I had to take that handle off because I kicked that one too many times and ended up throwing it in there. So anyways, yeah, everything's looking good. My center lines basically right here, right there is probably centered, and you can see it is really close. I mean, I'm more like right there is where I'm looking at it. So yeah, it's looking good so far. So like I said, I just wanted to get this all mocked up. I wanted to make sure that it was going to go on the body cart all right, and then we could lower the car on it and get everything dialed in that we need to get dialed in. So anyways, all right, I'm going to take this back out of here. All right, well, so I got the spring pockets out. This is the one with the broken spring. So anyways, the reason I was fighting this bugger so bad was this right here. You see how wide it is right there and how thin it is here? I can't really put it over the top of it, but I mean you can see it plain as day just how wide it is. This was hitting the what was that, the rocker panel, inside of the rocker panel right here, and I was wondering why in the heck that wouldn't fit in. I'm trying to push the frame rail over and that wasn't working. So anyways, that's going to need to be ground down. I am going to use these new ones, but I just need to grind this down some, and that'll work just fine then, I think. So anyways, yeah, so that's another reason why we do all this fitment before we actually get everything put together and set in place, so you can find issues like this. So just another tip, if you are struggling, if you can't use your old ones, make sure these new ones fit. All right, one more thing while we're looking at these. So there's the bolts that I used up into the J hooks. If you need to get new ones, here's the part number right there. I'm not quite sure where I ordered these from, but it comes with all the J hooks and or J clips or whatever you call them, and the bolts for those. So might have been Classic Industries, I can't remember, but anyways, that's that. Let me just show you too, now that got that out of there. So as you can see, so this is pulled up pretty tight right in here. As you can see, look at how much of an angle that is right there. I may end up having to trim some of that off because the shackle bushing, because the spring pocket was hitting this tab right here, and it is pretty close up here, but I think this is gonna hang down a little bit. So I think I'm just gonna grind that flat a little bit so it doesn't interfere with that spring pocket right there. So the other side's kind of the same way, and that might be from the frame rail being twisted just a little bit, but I think that'll all come up when we suck that up with the screws and stuff. So one other thing too is right here, this radius right here, I might have to do something with this edge. I might have to trim this edge back on this right here, because basically when I sucked it up tight, it would not, this rolled edge right here would not allow it to go up tight to the floor pan. So just another tip, if you are struggling trying to get this tight here, check your radius out right here, see if this is hitting it. Might be a good idea to trim that up before you even try fitting it in. So I'll probably do that with this side and the other side over there. I can't see that other side, but anyways, you get it. So all right, I'm gonna take this floor pan out of here. All right, no problem. That worked out really well. I actually, when I first put that in there, I kind of came up all the way up from underneath here, whereas as you saw when I took it out, it worked out better only bringing it down this far and having it slide right through these gaps here. As you can see, I was fighting this a little bit because of the clamp I have on right there. So anyways, just got to take my time and everything will work out. So one thing I did forget to show you is how it lined up around these wheel wells and around the front and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I got the height. I took a reference, I got it all evened up here, like right there. This is all chewed up obviously, but like right here is where the original floor pan went to, and saved that straight edge there. So everything actually lined up pretty good. That's kind of how I determine my height for in back. So anyways, I'll show that once we get it back on the body cart too. All right, so one thing I think I mentioned on a previous video, but these tabs here, these are pushed back. I pounded these back farther. I don't know if you can see that, but I pounded them back farther, pounded this one down a little bit, just so when I go to fit it up, the these aren't too far forward, because once I go to put this back underneath the car, if these are too far forward, it's going to be really hard to get them pushed back. So anyways, just thought I'd bring you along for that in case I didn't mention it before. All right, so got these cut out here. That should work out a whole lot better for that radius that comes around here. So that side too. I'll lift this up here. You can see I ground down the bottom right there on those tabs right down here. That should fit in pretty good now. So anyways, all right, after trimming up the ends of the frame rails there to fit into the floor pan area a little bit better, I came over and actually trimmed these up here. They're a little bit more like the original, a little less material sticking out, so they should fit in there real good. We'll check it out once we get the floor pan all fit up in there again. So all right, well, let me take you around back and I'll show you what we prepped for on the back side there. I prepped where the frame rails are gonna go, right down there. Got some weld through primer in there and over there. So, yep, so it's all prepped and ready to be put in. I just gotta do all the welds now. Yeah, that's a lot of screws. I don't know if I'll go, that was 1.5 inches spacing there. I don't know if I need to go 1.5 inches on that next time, but oh well, just more practice with the welder, right? All right, well, finished all the welding on the trunk floor pan and frame rails. Some turned out pretty good, some not so good. Once I get done with the grinder though, everything will look like it's perfect. So anyway, all right, well, that's going to do it for the mock-up of the trunk floor pan and frame rails. Hopefully you got a little something out of this. See what I went through to have to try and get this thing in there. So yeah, I think I'm just about ready to put this thing back up underneath the car, but a couple of things that I think we're going to do first is probably get these trunk drop-offs fit in there. I just quickly fit up the passenger side and the driver's side one. Driver's side one, no, not too bad. Passenger side one, absolutely going to need some work. So I'll bring you along for that. So that might be the next video. But as you can see, all the welds ground down, coated, and yeah, good to go. So anyways, as always, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one.